Go ahead.
Am I on? All right. Hi, my name is Samantha Carr from the Film Factory, and I was wondering how 3D has changed and how you think that it's going to be the new thing of the future.
Guessing that's for Scott.
Well, obviously, it's a conversation that you kind of have to make a decision about one way or another now, as whether you want to shoot a film in 3D or not shoot a film in 3D. I mean, to me, the only reason to do it is if you think it's going to enhance the experience for the audience. When I saw the tests that we initially did, the answer to me was unequivocally yes, and so that's why we moved forward and we did it. But you know, I mean, there's all sorts of approaches. I just think it's another tool in the toolbox, and hopefully people are going to use it in a respectful and cool way, and sometimes they're not, and sometimes they are.
Okay, you're next.
This is for my man, Scotty. Hi, I'm Heston. So, Scott, you were saying you wanted to take a new approach to vampire mythology. I noticed in the trailer it looked like vampires didn't have any eyes. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. If you wouldn't mind elaborating a bit on your new angle on vampires.
I just love Comic-Con because people watch it so carefully. It's great. It's amazing. Yes, actually, the vampires evolved without eyes and blindness are actually a big theme in the movie, and are discussed quite a bit. We looked at planet Earth and nature documentaries, and we looked at things that evolved as nocturnal creatures that evolved in caves, that evolved without sunlight, because the vampires are photosensitive, and a lot of those creatures are blind, and that we thought that made a lot of sense, you know, in terms of creating something that felt very physiologically real.
Okay, you're next.
Hi, Cam and Steven, I'm kind of wondering, what do you think of the differences of the vampires in, say, Twilight and True Blood that you portrayed versus the vampires in this movie?
Cam?
Well, there really aren't many similarities at all. Well, they're both called vampires, I guess. You know, these vampires on Priest are, you know, they're an entirely different species that is a feral beast that is built for killing, hunting, eating, and obviously Twilight, that's not how it was.
I can see a lot of similarities there between my vampire and bred for destruction. What I think is incredibly interesting from my point of view is was not playing a vampire, obviously, but being able to see Scott's vision because the vampires aren't there, and so I didn't have to do as much of that as some of these guys, and especially Paul, but Scott's vision, as you've just seen, is so interesting and so different to anything I've ever done. For me, that was the fascinating kind of difference.
Great. Okay, go ahead.
This is for Paul and the cast. What kind of martial arts trainings did you do to prepare for the role, and are you continuing your martial arts practicing now?
No, I'm
He's still killing vampires, though.
Yeah, no, I did. I hate vampires. I've been practicing mostly my beer and cheese skills since, which are really coming along. No, we did a lot of mixed martial arts stuff, and you know, a lot of fucking push-ups. and then I stopped, and naturally my body reverts to the body of a reader pretty quickly, so I simply can't keep it up unless somebody's paying me a lot of money. It's the fucking truth.
As you can see, Maggie also really let herself go after the picture.
You are who you are, Paul. That's why we love you. I box a lot when I start. I hit mitts and I do different things before choreography to just get back into the groove of, you know, really being a smart mover. And I did push-ups too, Paul. Lots of push-ups. I had to do specific. I have a weapon in the film that's essentially a rope dart, which is wushu, which I don't do. I had a wushu trainer who was basically teaching me how to work with a rope, which, by the way, not natural at all.
Yeah, it's really
so
hard.
hard.
That's like, years. They were saying to become just even proficient takes years in the rope dart.
Yeah,
But
they did it coming out of the womb, and they were trying to teach me. It was awesome.
Maggie's kind of a natural with that stuff though, and she took to it, and it's her swinging a rope in the movie. So.
Okay, we got time. Just a couple more questions. Go ahead.
This is for Karl Urban. Been a fan of your movies, Via Satile, Price of Milk. How do you feel playing a villain role again since the Bourne Supremacy? How does you feel about that?
That's a good question. Thank you. You know what? I had a lot of fun working on this. The villains are characters. Those characters that are so full of conviction about what they're doing. They are standing on the edge of the precipice and they're looking over that cliff and they're unblinking, and they do and say things that we can never do and say in real life. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun to be the bad guy and do naughty things to people.
And he does them
no,
so
not that
well.
kind of thing.
All right, this is our last question. It's all we have time for. Go ahead.
This question's for Maggie Q. You've done action, drama, comedy, modeling, and you've run track and cross country at Milani.
By the way, this is my old track coach.
So, which one's harder?
Are you kidding me that you're here? I'm like, I know that dude. Edwin, how are you? Let me tell you, being a runner for you and for Aka was harder. I have to say.
Okay, thank you.
Love you. It's so nice to see you.
You guys should get a room. Just saying.
All right, that's all we have time for. Please help me thank Scott and the cast of this amazing new film you get to see in May 2011. Priest, everybody.
Thank you guys.